Welcome to the DSTM Pandemic Edition. I'm your host, Nicole, and we have a very special guest today, Darlene from Dripping Springs Toastmasters. Darlene is a success coach. She helps people achieve their goals, overcome their struggles, and fulfill their dreams. She's been with DSTM since September of 2018, and she found us on Meetup, which is amazing. Darlene, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Nicole. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so excited. So we have a lot to talk about. I have heard through the grapevine that you are running a masterclass on the law of attraction. Is this true?
Well, actually, I have a mastermind group that is based on the book As a Man Thinketh, which is a book by James Allen. And so we're studying that, and we meet every week, and we have probably at least 3 weeks left to go. And it's really about thinking. It's about the power of our thought, because many of us don't realize how powerful our thought is. Now, the law of attraction says that whatever you focus on, whatever you think about, is what you attract into your life. And that's a law. And actually, the law of attraction is a secondary law to the law of vibration, which is the primary law. The law of vibration says, yeah, and a lot of people don't know that, but the law of vibration says that everything vibrates. And so in order to attract to us what we want, we have to get in equal vibration with it. So that's the premise of that. Everything is energy and everything is moving. Even the solid desktop is moving. It's just moving so fast we can't see it.
So how do we get into vibrational energy that aligns to attract the things that we want to us?
Well, there's a lot of things that you can do, and a lot of it has to do, well, it all has to do with our thinking. It's how we're thinking about things, and a lot of it is based on our paradigms. And our paradigms are a multitude of habits stored in our subconscious mind. And that's basically how we operate. We operate from our paradigms, and our paradigms are stored in our subconscious. So the reason why we do the things that we do and react the way that we do, or think the way we do, a lot of it is because of our paradigms. And we get our paradigms from some of them are inherited, some of them are environmental, but they're passed down to us from our parents. Some of them we've acquired along the way, but they really control our thinking and what we do. So if you want to change your vibration, you have to change your paradigm. And
how do you do that?
Well, you have to create a new habit, and to create a new habit, you have to replace the habit that is keeping you from what you want. And there's only two ways that you can change a paradigm. One way is like a traumatic event, like 911, or 9/11. 911's my address. 9/11. Yeah. So that affected a lot of people, but that was something totally out of everybody's control. But the other way you can change a paradigm is with repetition. So you decide on what habit you want in your life to replace this one that's keeping you from moving forward. And then you just have to use your will and discipline to establish that habit. And a lot of things that you can do are use affirmations and writing every day. And just, you've got to keep that in your mind and focus on it.
So would you recommend then that we choose one thing to change, or do you try to change a multitude of things all at the same time?
No more than two, just one or two. Because if you try to do too many at one time, you're not going to do anything. Or you might do it for a little while and then you're going to fall back just the way you were.
Right.
So if you can focus on just changing that one thing.
And so do you kind of work backwards and you say, what's your goal? What do you want to achieve for yourself? Now let's figure out what your paradigms are that are holding you back from that goal. Is that what you do? Or do people come in and say, I know I'm holding myself back, and if I could just change this thing about me, I would be better?
No, I say, what is it that you want? What do you want? What do you want to accomplish? What do you have a goal? How do you want to live your life? And then, so then they tell me, and then, okay, so then we go, all right, well, why do you think you're not there? So then we discover, well, I have them look at their habits. What are their habits that are keeping them from moving forward? And, look at what you're doing, and how could I change it to get where I want to go? So then we work on that.
Yeah, I feel like oh, this is going to sound horrible the way I say it, but I'm like, you just sucked all the magic out of it for me. Like, I want it to be this magical process where I just think about what I want and it comes to me. But it's really just about changing your perception of yourself and what's possible for you, right?
Right. Yeah. And it's, we have to look at what is possible, because we have unlimited potential. We just don't know it. Most of us don't know it. We're stuck believing, our parents told us, just get a good job, work for somebody else, and you'll be set. But that was their paradigm. Like my parents grew up in the Depression. So, of course that makes sense that's where that came from. But, there's a lot of different ways to make a good life. So, it's just whatever your parent, many parents tell their kids, oh, you'll never amount to anything, or you're not smart enough to do that, or, that's too hard for you to do this. And, those are really damaging things to tell our children.
Yeah, for sure. So what got you into success coaching? What's your story? How did you get here?
Well, I think I've always been interested in personal growth, and I was at a convention, and John Maxwell was there, and he was promoting one of his new books at the time, and I really got into it, and that study just kind of led me into more and more different personal growth people, gurus, I guess. And that's where I came across Bob Proctor. And when I heard Bob Proctor, he just resonated with me more in a deeper level than the other ones did. And, basically they're all good. They all say much the same thing. They just say it in a little different way. And what he was saying just really resonated with me. And then I had the opportunity to go see him live. He was holding a seminar in Dallas, and this was 6 years ago. And I went and saw him there, and that's when I made the decision I wanted to get involved with his company. So I did.
That's amazing. So since that time, or maybe even before then, how have you used these laws in your own life to achieve your goals or create something really amazing for yourself?
Well, I think for me, my best example is something that I'm going to talk about in my speech on Tuesday.
You're not going to reveal all your secrets to me? What?
Yeah, you'll have to come to the meeting on Tuesday.
All right, that's a plug. Dripping Springs Toastmasters meeting this Tuesday at 6:30. Darlene is revealing all. Please come to the meeting.
Right, my speech is to inspire, so I'm going to try to inspire everybody.
Yes, I can't wait. Well, what tiny tidbit of inspiration could you leave us with today? If not your best story, maybe like your third best story.
Well, okay. Well, I'll just tell you part of the story, because we live in Blanco, we live in the country, and I love it here. And I always, after we got out of Corpus Christi, we embraced the hill country life. This is home for us. This is what we wanted. We lived in Corpus for 28 or 29 years, a long time. And we're so glad to get up here to the hill country where we love it, absolutely love it. Every day, I'm so grateful to be here. And so one of the things after we got up here that I had been thinking about was having chickens. And when we bought the house that we're in right now, the previous owner had chickens. She had 5 chickens in a chicken coop, a chicken yard out in the back. And that excited me. But what was even more exciting was that she asked if I wanted the chickens. So of course I said, oh yes, I do. Thank you so much. I would love the chickens. And so, you know, I had really been defining what I wanted, how I wanted things to be in my new country life. And chicken was one of the things, and they showed up. So
that's really cute that was like the thing that was really important to you. But
yeah.
I totally get it. I completely understand it. That's amazing. So you have these chickens. This is a great segue because I wanted to talk about your chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what do you do when you have chickens and you just collect eggs all the time? There has to be times when you're just like flush with eggs. Am I right?
Yes, there is. And I'll share them with friends, give them away. And, you know, sometimes, well, my husband makes this breakfast dish, and he uses 8 eggs to make this dish.
8 eggs?
Yeah, 8
what
eggs.
A luxury. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. And so he cooks up some sausage and some eggs and onions and peppers, and I don't know what else he makes it. I don't, but he mixes that all together, and you can either put it in a big pan, or you could even put it in cupcakes or some other smaller dish if you want to. And so he makes that up for his breakfast dish, and that'll last him a few days.
Oh, okay. So it's not like 8 eggs all in one meal.
No. No, but yeah, we do have a surplus sometimes, but the number of eggs that we get varies. So a few weeks ago, I was getting I have 7 chickens. I actually, on some days, actually got 7 eggs, which is a real rare thing for me.
Wow.
2 of my chickens are about 6 or 7 years old, I think. They were 2, that's 2 left when we bought the house. I still have 2 of those. And then last year we got 5 babies that we raised. And so when the babies started producing, I think it actually made the older ones start laying again. Because
really?
one of them hadn't laid eggs in over a year. And she started laying eggs this spring.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow. And then the other one, who I think maybe I got 3 or 4 eggs from her last year, she started laying them regularly too. So they don't lay them as often as the other ones, but they're laying them. So
it's like the baby chickens raise the vibrations, right?
Yeah.
Of the older hens. And it's like, well, I can do this again. I'm still in this game.
I think so.
A life lesson for us all, right? We should diversify our friend groups.
Yeah.
Like we need all of the energy we can get to help us.
That's right.
What is the strangest thing you've ever done with an egg that you could recommend to our audience? I know, what a weird question.
Well, the other day, you know, sometimes I'll get eggs and they're broken. And did you know that chickens lay eggs standing up?
So like
I didn't know that either.
Grounds?
They stand up when they lay their eggs. And so, you know, I have some rubber mats in the bottom of their nest boxes, and I've added some, I used to have wood chips in there, and then I got rid of them when I put the rubber mats in, because they would just push the wood chips out of the way when they get ready to lay.
They're like, watch this one break.
So anyhow, I've still got the rubber mats in there, and I was getting so many broken eggs. I thought, let me just pile it real thick with the wood chips on top of the rubber mats and see if that helps any. And so far it's better. But last week I had one egg that was cracked. It wasn't all the way broken. And I didn't want to throw it out in the field, and I was doing stuff outside. I didn't want to just bring it to the house and then go back out there. So we had a fire pit going out there that was still hot. So I threw the egg in the fire. It was just ashes that were really hot. So I threw the egg in there, and I just thought, well, I guess it'll just cook in the shell and all, And a few days later, I went back out there and it was gone. So some critter must have got it.
You made dinner for somebody.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds so fun though. Just like throwing eggs in a fire pit. That would be such an amazing stress reliever. Oh. Sometimes when I'm really like really angry and stressed, I'll dig through the refrigerator to find like old vegetables or old fruit, and I'll just go outside and throw it.
Yeah, release that tension.
I know, like it feels really good. Seems more productive than like, I don't know, breaking something.
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds so satisfying. You should do this. You should do like stress relief workshops at your property and just like bring eggs and let women just like throw eggs into a fire.
Yeah.
It's like both symbolic and like physically expressive.
Yeah, that's right. Or have a target. Shoot, throw them at the target.
Yes.
Who's best?
I love this. So I feel like I'm learning more about you, but there's still more that I'd like to know. So I'd like to play this little game with you called Two Truths and a Lie.
Okay.
The way this game is played is you share 3 anecdotes or stories or facts about yourself with me. And 2 of them should be true, or mostly true. And 1 of them should just be a lie. Just all out, go for it. But convince me that it's true.
Okay.
And then I will try to guess which are the truths and which are the lies. Are you game for this?
Sure.
All right. Take a moment, collect yourself, collect your thoughts, put on your game face. I don't want you to give anything away.
Okay.
You're ready. You go.
Okay. All right. Well, I learned how to sew when I was in 3rd grade, and the first thing I made was an apron. And then my sewing skills just progressed all the way till now. And when I was in junior high school, I can remember specific outfits that I made. I used to make all my clothes. And I was in 4-H, and 4-H where I lived was about sewing and learning to cook and making crafts and doing those home things, So we would have 4-H dress reviews, and where we would go model one of our outfits that we made and stand up on stage in front of all these people and get ribbons for it. But yeah, I used to make all my clothes. And one of the other things is about 10 years ago, I had a friend that wanted to go skydiving, and I didn't. And so she dared me to go skydiving. And I'm afraid of heights. So I didn't want to do this, but she somehow managed to convince me to do this. And as fearful as I was, I somehow managed to do it. Of course, I had somebody else strapped on the back of me, and they had the parachute and all that. And we went up, and she jumped off first, and then it was my turn, and the guy who was on my back he said, all right, we're going to go on the count of 3. And he said, 1, 2, and then he pushed us off. And so we went skydiving, and I landed. And after he pushed us out of the plane, it was like, I was scared, but yet it was really exhilarating because I was flying. And I used to have dreams when I was a kid about flying, that I could just fly. So so it was really cool to actually feel that, and it got me over my fear of skydiving. So that was a really neat experience. And the other thing is, one of my summers from college, when I was in college one summer, one of my best friends the summer before had gone to Maine, and there was a Navy base up there in Kittery, Maine, a submarine base. And she'd met somebody there, and she'd married him. And so then the following summer, she asked me if I wanted to go back up there and spend the summer up there. So I did, and while I was there, I was a chambermaid, which is basically somebody that cleans hotel rooms, motel rooms. So I was cleaning hotel rooms while I was staying up in Maine for one summer, and that was an interesting time too, meeting all the Navy guys. So that was fun.
Okay, so we have sewing, skydiving, or chambermaid.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
All right. What was the most favorite outfit you ever sewed for yourself?
I don't know if I had a favorite, but I will say I made my prom dress
What color was it?
pink.
How long did it take you to make it?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. With the skydiving, what did it feel like when you were flying through the air towards the ground? Describe the sensations in your body.
Well, at first, because I have a fear of heights, the first thing when I'm scared of a height is I feel it in my feet. It's the first thing. I don't know, it's just kind of strange, but I feel it in my feet. And so I was feeling it in my feet as we were on the edge waiting to jump. But then we get out there, and after a second, it was like very, very peaceful. Like you're just floating. And the wind is, because you're going fast. I don't know how fast we were going, but the wind's blowing at you. But it's just the coolest sensation ever, just to be floating down there and looking at everything, because I love to look out the window of an airplane, and I love to study maps. But so looking at the countryside is really neat for me, because I like to do that anyway. So, but yeah, my heart was racing, but it was good.
It was good. That sounds horrible. All right, chambermaid. What did you have to wear? What was your uniform?
We didn't have a uniform. We just wore our own clothes.
Suspicious. Did they make you wear a name tag?
Must have. I don't remember. Been so long.
What was the weirdest thing you had to clean up?
I don't remember anything that bad. There were some people that would stay more than one night, and so you just kind of clean around their stuff. That was a little awkward sometimes.
Like, what was their stuff that you had to clean around? I want to know this awkwardness.
I don't know. I don't really remember. Seems like there was a man in the room one time when I was cleaning, but I don't remember. It's a long time ago.
All right, I think chambermaid is the lie.
Nope.
Is it skydiving?
Yes.
Damn it. I knew it was skydiving. I picked the wrong one. I knew you would never do it.
I won't.
Amazing,
but
but I feel like I know you better.
I recently watched a video by Will Smith that was about fear, and it was him jumping, his experience of his first time skydiving, and he was over in Dubai, and yeah, so it was an excellent video. It's on YouTube if anybody wants to look it up. Will Smith on fear and skydiving. It's really good.
I'm gonna find it and try to tag it in our video. Awesome. Yeah. But so you watch that and you're like, nope, not gonna do it. What a great video. I'm gonna share this with everybody, but I will not skydive.
Yep.
Okay, so I have one more question for you. And I think this kind of connects back to where we started and talking about raising your vibration and changing your paradigm. How do you hope that this pandemic will change us?
Well, I think that no matter what is going on in our life or in the world, we have to always look for the good. No matter what, there's good that we can find in everything. Even when it seems bad, let's find the good in it. And I think there's a lot of good that's going to come out of this. I think, I like seeing families and relationships. People are spending more time together. And on one hand, I know that it's stressful for some people, but on the other hand, maybe they're getting to know each other at a different level and, spending valuable quality time. I've seen things on video where people are really getting creative. They're really, doing creative things with their time together. And I think that's good. And I think that, what people are doing to help each other, I think there's a lot of good there. People are, helping their neighbors and people they don't know, and just being charitable and kind and good people. And I hope that will continue as well. I think it's bringing out the good in a lot of people. Unfortunate that I know it's stressful for many, and they say depression and suicides and all that may go up, but I think there's a lot of good to become of the experience too.
I agree. It's a hopeful time. Anytime, I mean, even like 9/11 is tragic, but it's also hopeful. There's a time of hope, time of change, time for possibility. You have to sometimes tear things away in order to bring out what we most want to accomplish or achieve or create.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun and really silly. I want to come to your house and throw eggs.
Yeah.
Your master class? No, it's not a master class. Your
mastermind. I call it a mastermind.
Thank you. Your mastermind. How long is that? How many weeks?
We have about 3 weeks left.
Okay.
And, we meet on Wednesday evenings at 5:00, and you can find the information about it on my website, darlenecurley.com.
Perfect.
Well, anybody's welcome to join us.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So darlenecurley.com, y'all go check out her website. And when this one's over, I imagine you're going to do something else. Am I right?
Yep.
Awesome.
I am. Yep.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for joining the show today. and for playing with me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Have a great day.
Thank you.